Okay, guys, so we're gonna start doing this in a video format because the email is really kicking some people's ass. And it's also maybe my fault the way I explain things. Keep in mind the Space Monkey program, this is us moving forward and experimenting with basically an endurance type protocol that has been used in many other endeavors and sports, but we're kind of figuring out how we need to do it. And this is a good process already because I'm already getting a lot of questions and people not understanding what's going on and why. So today, just a few topics that you guys have been emailing and asking about, and I'm also going to have another video that's going to talk about why we're doing some of these things. But first off, keep in mind the ultimate goal. A lot of people are getting a little too obsessive with the data collection. Ultimately, that tracker, that spreadsheet I gave you guys is really just track how many minutes you are aerobically training per week, okay? So keep in mind that the main goal is to accumulate more and more volume over time from week to week. If for some reason you're unable to progress it by 30 minutes week to week, so you do 2.5 hours on week 2 and then you do 2.5 hours on week 3, that's okay. You're not fucking up. You can continue to get adaptations. You can probably do 2.5 hours for 3 or 4 weeks and still get value out of this. So don't overthink it. Remember the ultimate goal. Low intensity, continuing to progress the total volume. Okay, number 2, guys, sore legs. We're basically starting to accumulate a lot of running volume, and we're not runners, or at least most of us are not. Most of us are gym athletes. So now we're doing 10 to 15 times the amount of running that you normally do. Be mindful of how your legs, all right, which is your ankles, your shins, your knees, your hips, are starting to feel. If you're starting to feel fatigued, a little more soft tissue, a little more recovery, maybe back off the running for a little bit that week and do more cycling, rowing, whatever it may be, to keep our legs in good form and healthy enough to continue to move through this program. If you ramp up too fast, then there's a good chance you might get hurt, you might get shin splints, you might just have lower extremity issues, and you'll be unable to continue the program. Number 3, the efficiency factor runs that I'm having you guys do at the beginning of the week. Fucking ignore them. Don't even do them anymore, okay? I still do the run, okay, but just go ahead and treat it like a normal run, normal ride, whatever session. Don't worry about the pace. Don't worry about the average heart rate. Now, if you want to continue to track it, you can. That was just a weekly kind of metric that I was kind of interested in seeing and being able to see over time. But honestly, if you're using these apps, you're going to be able to see these different runs. You'll be able to compare them pretty easily. A lot of people are getting really confused on the purpose of that. If you clearly understand the purpose of the efficiency run and it makes sense to you, by all means, continue to do it. I'm going to continue to do it. But if it's fuzzy, it is not a critical factor. We are not treating it as an assessment. Your assessment will be on week 5, which will basically be that 30-minute run at 75%. Those monthly metrics are the ones we care about. Number 4, the timed run. The timed run is not an aerobic training session. It is an assessment. You're going to go out and run a 5K as hard as possible. Do not worry about your heart rate. You're probably going to come very close to maximal. Expect about 90 to 95% in that 20 to 30 minute window, okay? The purpose of this time 5K, we're gonna take that time and your performance is going to dictate a training pace. Now this is just one of like 8 methods to dictate what your training pace and training zones are gonna be. But this one I wanna do is see how it correlates with 75% of max heart rate. Some athletes are establishing new max heart rates, so that means they probably were training at a little lower intensity than they needed to. Keep in mind that if you're 5 beats too slow, or if you're 5 beats too heavy, it's not the end of the world. Even if you're 10 beats too low or too high, you're still aerobic. As long as we're not near our anaerobic threshold, we're okay. The big thing is, I know you guys, I know you like to go hard, so I'm purposely trying to keep you low just because I want you to start becoming comfortable with the idea of moving over ground in an easy, slow manner. Not slow, easy would be more appropriate. The last one, guys, catching up. A lot of athletes are like, oh, I'm behind. I'm just now getting my tracker, just now got my device. This is not a time-sensitive program, okay? You can start this today, all right? Just save the emails, read them, save the videos I'll be sending out instead of emails, maybe easier, and then start when you can, all right? And you don't have to do the play catch-up, okay? I'll make another video here shortly about the different methods that we're using to establish what our zone 2 or primary endurance training zone will be.